Hello and welcome to SquishiVision, where I have just been watching the first two episodes of the Bad Batch Season 2. And this is my immediate reaction. I'm not fun to watch it a couple of times or like extrapolate detail, but it's kind of a string of information. So there are these nitpicks that I'm gonna come at. First nitpick. Cliffhanger of the first episode was Omega saying that, Omega was asked when would the thrusters on the containers activate, and Omega replied they should have done it by now, implying that something's gone wrong and nothing happened. The next episode, a similar question is asked, and her reply is they'll happen anytime soon, which seems to imply that it was never going to happen until this point anyway. Another nitpick: when you're climbing up from the container that crashed in the cliff, they left behind a rope that they'd used to carry up Tech. When Omega returns later on to steal some of the treasure, or take some of the treasure, she has to take a rappelling rope with her to get into the container, and the one that was previously had disappeared. I thought it was implied perhaps that it was a different container, but actually no, it's the same one because it landed in the exact same position, the exact same tree. I think I had another nitpick, but I can't quite remember what it was. So yeah, I mean, it was pretty alright episode. So my thoughts on season 1 of The Bad Batch was very much, I wasn't entirely impressed. I thought it was very mixed. I think the episodes that were good were really good. The episodes that covered, say, the episodes with like Crosshair, and those were really good episodes. The ones that Crosshair weren't in tend to not be very good episodes. It's very kind of, and it was also problematic. No one ever had like any characterizations. Recurringly, people would tell Echo not to do something. Echo would prove that she was actually more capable than they thought she was. In the next episode, exact same deal. They treat her far more incompetently than she was. And rinse and repeat. Obviously, like, Wrecker is an extremely problematic character because he basically represents that kind of Lenny-esque character, which is someone with intellect, brawler person with low intelligence, which isn't great. So, I mean, in this episode, it is two-part. He isn't actually that bad. He shows some intelligence, and he isn't like that dumb kind of brute person, or he's not as bad as he could have been. So yeah, this episode is very much, I mean, there were some good parts. I like the nostalgia of going back to Sorrento, being in Dooku's throne room, which was a recurring backdrop for some Dooku cutaways in the Clone Wars. I don't really get the point of the person they came across. I don't really think he added too much to the plot. I like the whole idea that there is this Imperial staff member who's happy to bury the fact that Clone 99 is still alive because it looked bad in his report. It's a very on-brand thing for an Imperial officer. Yeah, but I mean, I don't really have much to say. It's a pretty standard animated episode. I guess the action pieces were pretty decent. I'm a bit surprised that they all managed to survive falling in a crater with heavy objects flying around with little damage. Was it ever acknowledged that they? Oh no, did they actually go back for the final container? I don't know if it did or not. They managed to get one chest out of a container, and I don't know if they got that container back onto their ship. I don't think they did. I don't know if they went back for it. So I'm interested to see how they deal with the fact that they failed this mission. I feel like they could have, got at least some of their stuff out more if they tried a little bit harder. Like, it was almost all or nothing, and they could have gone for a bit, like, even less than. Also, some of this was like very kind of contrived. Like, there was no reason for Omega to lose all the treasure she had with her, other than the plot demanded it. It was just very much like, okay, well, yeah, Deus Ex Machina was the opposite of that. I guess there's going to be a whole thing this season about. So last season they were basically on a run, a whole bunch. They weren't particularly that bothered about helping people or being like proactive. They were very much passive kind of heroes and trying to find their way. Obviously their characterizations took a long time because, like I said, none of the characters grew. Here I think there's the arc that's been kicked off about them being more proactive in helping people oppressed by the Empire, being very anti-Empire. I mean, last season ended with Kamina being destroyed, so that might kind of help push them, but Hunter still kind of wants to be more just survive rather than fight. So hopefully they kind of stick with that vision and not, you know, take a long time to get around it, but I feel that they might, and I think that's my kind of whole why I'm not particularly yeah, compared to like other shows with much more like firmer directions like Mandalorian and Andor, and like even Obi-Wan has a much more like the plot wise. I mean, I know Obi-Wan has its problems, and I'm not against Obi-Wan Kenobi, the show it had its problems, so at least it was more less aimed, more kind of more like less aimless kind of narrative. So that's my fault in this episode. Not like a huge amount of things to say, but that's fine. Don't go too long. Let me know what you think in the comments, and after I've finished my burger and written a TV, I'm gonna play some Destiny 2 on my gaming channel, so look out for that. Bye.